Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Thunder Today YouTube channel. I am your host, Dylan Hibbard, and in today's video, we're going to continue our series of the player predictions for this upcoming season, and we're going to dive into Jaylen Williams today, talk about his averages and kind of what to expect from him overall this upcoming season. We'll also talk about where Isaiah Hartenstein was ranked in the Western Conference Centers list. We'll see where he was ranked in that. We'll also talk about Nick Gallo a little bit in his first pitch at the Tulsa Drillers game. And then at the end, we'll talk about the controversy about what Adam Silver has said about the streaming and NBA fans being able to watch the NBA games. But first off, just kind of talking about what to expect from Jaylen Williams this year. We know that Jaylen Williams proved a lot of people wrong. A lot of people didn't think he would be able to be a second option on a championship team, and he goes out there and does beyond that in the playoffs and proves that he's not only can be a second option on a team, but he is a top 15 to 20 player in the league. And I think this upcoming season, he can really push to be a top 10 player in the league. You look at some of the older guys that are in that top 10 to 12 range, like your LeBron, KD, Steph's, ADs, guys like that who are going to be getting older and they're going to continue to decline. Guys like Jaylen Williams can step up and take that spot from them, and I really think Jaylen Williams can. I think he can jump up into average almost near 25 points per game, and I think he's going to average around 25, 5, and 5. And for me, I think Jaylen Williams, we saw last year he made all-defensive second team. We saw that he made an all-NBA third team. And for J-Dub, it's just going to be continuing to grow. And I think the biggest thing for him is to be more consistent ball handling and in the non-Shea minutes. We've seen how when Shea goes off the court and J-Dub takes over on the offense in the past couple of seasons, he's kind of been hit or miss. It feels like sometimes he's almost afraid to really take over the game. And I think we're going to see a lot more consistently great games from J-Dub, and I think we're going to see a lot less low lows and more highs, and he's going to stay more consistent throughout the entire season. I without a doubt think that he will be able to be an all-NBA player once again and a possible all-defensive player. I think it really just comes down to his health. How is the risk going to be coming into training camp? Is that going to be a lingering issue? And if not, really the sky's the limit for J-Dub. We don't really see guys like J-Dub all that often, and a lot of people throughout last season were comparing him to a young Kawhi on the defensive side, but I think by far J-Dub is a by far better offensive player when they were at the same age. I think Kawhi was a slightly better defender, but J-Dub is so good at defending still, and his offensive game is so much better. I think J-Dub is really kind of a one-of-one for the Thunder, and I think we can really see him jump up into that 25, 5, and 5 averages. But next up, we'll kind of talk about the Isaiah Hartenstein thing. We kind of are transitioning into the next season, and now people are bringing out their ranks, and Isaiah Hartenstein was ranked as the 8th best center in the Western Conference. You had Jokic at the top, obviously, and Victor Wembanyama at 2. Isaiah Hartenstein dead middle in the Western Conference at number 8, sandwiched in between Zion Williamson at number 9, and I don't remember exactly who was Zion at 7. I don't remember who was at 9, but you had guys like Sengun at number 6, Zubac at number 5, Rudy Gobert up there as well. But Isaiah Hartenstein, ranked as the 8th best center in the West, is kind of right up along the par. I think if if Zion stays healthy, he can be that guy. It's just a big question mark of if he actually does stay healthy. So that's why I kind of question him being over Isaiah Hartenstein when we know Isaiah Hartenstein can be out there and be a big difference in a championship team. And I think this is a big year for Hartenstein. I don't think the Thunder are going to bring him back after this season just because he's going to be owed nearly $30 million, and if the Thunder take on that contract, it's going to put him well over that second apron with the Big Three's contract kicking in after this season. And I think that's why it's a really big blow for the Thunder that Thomas Sorber is injured, because I feel like he was going to be the Isaiah Hartenstein replacement, and if he was able to go out there and get a year of experience before they really put him into that role, it would have helped a lot. So now that Sorber's injured, I think the Thunder have to kind of reevaluate some things for next season. But overall, I think Isaiah Hartenstein somewhere in that 6 to 8 range for the Western Conference center is right. He's not a guy that will ever blow you away with what he puts up on the stat sheet. He averaged about a double-double, 10 and 10 this past season. And his bread and butter really is that floater in the paint. If he consistently makes that at a 60% clip, that's really one of the better shots for a big man in the league. And he's been able to do it so well that it's really been a big weapon. We didn't see him much throughout the postseason, so I'm hoping that he doesn't strive away from it towards the end. But he's an amazing rebounder. He does really good on the pick and roll and just a great teammate overall for the Thunder if you're looking at it that way. But now we'll kind of transition into talking about how Nick Gallo threw out for the first pitch for the Tulsa Drillers over the weekend. The Drillers had a OKC Thunder night, and we actually got to saw Nick Gallo throw out the first pitch, and he actually looked pretty good. And I think it was kind of funny to see a guy like that go out there and throw the first pitch, and he looked pretty good while doing it. And it was just kind of really cool to see a guy like that go out there and do something other than basketball. And he looked pretty good while doing it, threw a strike right over the middle of the plate. And I know for some MLB teams that are out there looking for some bullpen help, they could use a guy like that. So, hey, maybe Nick Gallo will get a call on that. But we'll kind of wrap up this video talking about the controversy that was what Adam Silver has talked about over the past week, talking about how he doesn't really care that the NBA fans aren't able to watch these NBA games because of all the different networks and streaming services. And he straight up said if the fans don't want to pay for it, they can watch the highlight videos on YouTube. And that's just a really bad look for me from an NBA commissioner standpoint. I think throughout all the commissioners, Adam Silver has proved himself to be probably the worst out of the big four sports, just because he's now come out and publicly said that he really doesn't care about the fans getting access to the game and the game growing through the fans. He just wants the money. He wants people to have to pay for so many different streaming services, whatever, to watch all of these NBA games. And he straight up said, like, if you're not wanting to pay for it, I guess you're out of luck and you can just watch the highlight videos on YouTube the next day when they come up. And I feel like that's just a really bad look from the NBA standpoint. You want to be able to grow your game and get your game out there to the next generation and just continue to build a fan base and a loyal fan base for the next generation, so people will want to continue to watch the NBA, and the NBA can be a staple for the years to come. And when you go out there and you say that you really don't care if the fans can watch it, they should have to pay it because you're going for the brand deals and whatever it may be. It's a really bad look for the NBA, and I'm interested to see how that all plays out and if we see numbers dip, because it feels like over the past few years we've seen NBA numbers continue to decline, and the other sports like MLB, NFL, NHL continuing to rise because they're making changes. You look at the MLB where they have made the changes with the shot clock. They're introducing a possible robot ump system that makes the games more appealing to the more casual fans, and that's what you want. You want to bring the game as close as you can to the more casual viewers and just continue to get viewership. And from this, the Adam Silver standpoint, it's just not a good look for the NBA, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But that'll be it for me today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below, and that'll be it for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.